Joining us now is John Witz. He's the event producer with Rock and Rides and Arts, Beats, and Eats, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. John, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome, Tyler. A beautiful day out here, and it kind of puts you in the mood for bringing people together for some good times.
Yeah, the more I've looked outside recently and more I've been outside recently, it's really felt like we're back to a traditional Michigan summer, especially as we're seeing events coming back and those traditions coming back as well. One that is returning to Metro Detroit this summer is Rock and Rides Royal Oak. Can you tell us about this event, when it's happening, and what sort of fun people can engage in at this event?
Well, so we start this Thursday, June 16th through June 19th on Sunday. When you talk about Rock and Rides, you got to start with the rides and the family activities. There's 20 rides throughout the center of downtown Royal Oak, for all ages. You've got Cliffhanger, the Sizzler, Super Slide, some kiddie rides like the Merry-Go-Round, the Toontown, Treasure Island, and some for not the faint of heart like the Vertigo and more. So a big Ferris wheel. So you gotta, mention that. There's free arts and crafts as well. There's a kid stage during the day, and it's going to be a lot of fun, for the family for sure.
Yeah, great rides, also great music. Can you tell us about some of the musical acts that will be coming to the main stage and even to the other entertainment locations at this event?
Sure. So when you talk about, rock, the Rock and Rides, our big feature there is at the Soaring Eagle Casino stage. You have bands like the Corktown Popes and Damon Terrell and Power Play Detroit, Frame 42, Spiral Crush, so many different kinds of, rock, from classic to modern to alternative to indie rock, even with Strange Hearts. So, a lot of great, rock bands will be there, and especially on the Soaring Eagle stage. And then we also, when the rock stage isn't going, we have live DJs on the House of Dank stage. So, we have DJs that are brought to us from Movement Festival. We have other DJs as well. So we have DJ Catalyst, Drew Ruiz, DJ Dave, all sorts of, great, music vibes and energy coming out of that House of Dank stage. And that's all on 5th Street. So we go, rock to, kind of some great dance, electronic, just good party vibes, throughout that. So lots to do for the kids, and the adults, and some great food as well. We'll have 16 different, food trucks, throughout the event. So a lot of good food too.
And great activities also to keep that interest high as people are experiencing the music. They go on the rides for a little bit also, and then they want to find some activities as they're walking around and exploring the event. What other sort of activities beyond the music and the rides will be available at Rock and Rides?
Well, one of the new, I think 2 new events we have, one will be a lot of fun, is axe throwing. There's actually an organization called The Hub that's going to, do demonstrations, teach people how to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you got to be 18 or older to participate in that, and all that information's on our website. We've also added an inflatable playscape area, as well. So there'll be an additional kind of adult activity and a new kids feature as well. Just because we had so many folks last year, we had to have a little bit of programming. And I do want to mention some of the great food we'll have out there, because I think eating is an activity in and of itself, of course. So we'll have the House of Barbecues, Build a Burger, Island Noodles, the Chickadee Trailer, Andre's Louisiana Seafood, Mike's Mexican Grill, the Maui Mike's Tiki Hut, Cajun Soul Sisters, Mr. Deep Fried, Kona Ice. So just a lot of good food choices as well. And that, I think, with all that, it's a good festival to start the summer. And I think downtown Royal Oak will be buzzing.
Yeah, it certainly will, and it is one of those great things to bring people back out into Royal Oak from across the metro area, from all over the state of Michigan also, as people are getting back out into these events, and these traditions are coming back to somewhat of full strength this summer, as they were in partial strength in the past year or so as those have started to come back. And one of those ways we're trying to bring people back is with greater opportunities, particularly for younger people, for the kids, for young adults. And this year, Thursday, June 16th, the first day of the event, is going to be a community day sponsored by Henry Ford Health System. Can you tell us about that special programming?
Sure. So that's a great program, and we're so I think collaborating with Henry Ford Health has been amazing. They have a new facility in Royal Oak and have been very engaged in the community. So we are partnering with 12 nonprofits to offer kids and young adults with special needs or who are at risk or have life-threatening illnesses the chance to enjoy carnival lunch and beverages and admission, all for free. So some of our nonprofit partners include Boys Hope, Girls Hope, the Children Miracle Network Hospitals, Haven, Habitat for Humanity, the Rainbow Connection, Vista Maria, Troy Transition, COTS are all referring and getting the word out to families that we can, so we can take this wonderful program we have and offer, some opportunities for families and kids and young adults. My son has autism. He's participating with his group, Troy Transitions, and we expect 1,500 folks to enjoy that. So we opened early for kids and families that are in that program, and that'll run from 2 to 6, and then we open to the general public at 4. So there's actually a little bit of a spillover, when folks that are getting the community free events are mixing in with the general public, and that's always been a lot of fun and a great way to kick things off. And I'm glad we have the opportunity to talk about and highlight that. We have other nonprofits like Forgotten Harvest that'll be getting some benefit from our gate revenues. So we hope to generate between $20,000 and $25,000 from local nonprofits in addition to this great community day.
We're joined by John Witz, event producer at Rock and Rides, joining us on the Michigan Megacast Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, beginning Thursday, June 16th, 4 to 11 p.m., Friday, 11 to 11, Saturday, 11 to 11, and Sunday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. in downtown Royal Oak. John, before we let you go, as we're expecting more people to come back out to these sorts of events this summer, and this particular event this week, tell us about the parking situation, where people can park for this event in Royal Oak.
So I'm so glad you're letting me talk about parking, because there's a little bit of concerns about some of the meter parking in Royal Oak, but it doesn't affect or change the fact that as a downtown, Royal Oak has thousands of parking spaces and parking decks. And I just want to say this for the business community as well. I mean, people are concerned, with, some issues with backing and parking, although we found the meters full. So they are getting used. But the biggest issue is that 80% of the parking in Royal Oak isn't parking decks, and there have been no issues there. And we'll offer free parking just like they normally do on a downtown weekend. For anyone that's coming to the event for the first 2 hours, parking is free, and it's only 75 cents an hour. So for the mass amounts of people, will be parking in parking decks, and they were very readily available last year. And like I said, there are thousands of spaces, all, many which are in walking distance to the festival, like within 2 blocks off of Center Street. They're on Lafayette, and even in the north side of the downtown, there's new parking decks there. So off 11 Mile. So I would recommend, for this weekend, to not concern with meters. If you don't want to back into a metered space, you can park in the parking deck. But I will say, just in fairness to the city, that there are problems that are being worked out, but the meters are being used, and the parking decks remain a great asset to the city, and will be all that we need for parking for Rock and Rides.
John, thank you so much for joining us and previewing this event that begins on Thursday this week.
Yes. Thank you, Tyler, for having us. And rockandridesro.com, and it's got all the details, and we'll see everybody this weekend.